What's going on, guys? It's day 2 for MSI play-ins, and it's TES versus Loud. Now, this will be a little interesting because obviously TES are favorites, but from what I hear, Loud is actually not half bad. So, I mean, my expectation is TES 2-0, but will Loud actually make it interesting? So the bans that they've done, they actually did a respect ban on Jax. I assume this is a flex ban for these two. Olaf, probably another flex ban. Callista for Route. And they did Vi, Ari, Rumble. So they did some pretty standard bans across the board. Just general OPs, and these are a lot more focused besides Callista. They Senna first pick. So this is interesting because for me, Senna, if you expect a lane swap and you pick Senna, then when you go into Grubs, like, so if you start bot first and then you go into Grubs on the second round, even though you are trading out, Senna is getting a little bit more plates than you, and Senna is also getting the souls from the Grubs, which is a big deal. Dream Azir. Yo, this guy is a legit Azir, so that's pretty sick to see. Yeah, Varus was up, Lucian was up. It's interesting in that, I mean, they did Nautilus Varus. I'm not gonna lie, if he had a Lucian, it actually would have been better. But then again, he also would have gone the Nautilus version, so no, he had to go this way. I was gonna say, like, he could do Senna Nautilus, or Senna Nautilus, and that actually be more of an issue for Lucian Nami, but if they knew for sure it was TK and, like, Nautilus was banned, then Lucian Nami is really good. And they took a Talia in the 1-2. What do they need to ban? I mean, the most obvious thing is banning Lee Sin, but then again, that's just like a TN standard. You kind of just want to get rid of general strong junglers who also can clear pretty well. Probably Xinjiao was a more annoying pick than Lee. What else? I don't think they're going to play Jarvan. Jarvan is a very exclusive pick. Probably a 369 champ to ban.
Well, and right now the TES have a very powerful round, but it's pretty conservative, right? You guys can't always need to as much as you farming. Instead, focus on pretty wide, team fights, good protection, you're scaling, but it's not really explosive. We're going to see what
Aatrox. That's fair. Renekton's also up. Actually, Renekton would be something they definitely need to address. And for them, like, so they ban Xin. Actually, they probably have preference on playing... No, because 369 plays so many tanks. You're not really aiming for support, you're aiming for carries. Oh, so they do ban the Lee. Okay. Sejuani. That's fair. That's fair. So they take the Renekton away, and then their reaction is to take Cassante. He also, in theory, could play Gragas if he wanted to, and it actually would be pretty lit, especially because, like, it fits your mold perfectly while still being semi-engaged. Then at that point, I'm not really playing Viego. I'm playing... What am I playing? Ooh. Okay, so I don't know if people would like it, but I actually wouldn't mind, like, Rek'Sai, Gragas for them. Rek'Sai jungle, like, it's a fine pick. It's, I mean, it's OP. Honestly, to be honest, it's actually literally quite strong. I don't even know why I'm saying it's a fine pick. It's literally quite strong. And there's not like a lot of big 80 junglers in general. Like, yeah, you could take Viego, but I don't know. Like, that means you're gonna make your other teammates do a lot more work for you. Oh, they're doing a really standard mesh. This... Oh man, this needs to be actually an interesting pick. Fuck. I mean, what kind of counterpick of Doom do you even have? Kindred gets outranged would be terrible. Graves gets outranged would be terrible. What the hell can they play? So I'm pretty sure Skarner is disabled. And that's why we just don't see it all. Otherwise, it'd be perma-picked, perma-banned. I mean, in theory, you can play... What would you play mid? In theory, you could play Talia jungle, which would be quite wild, but it's not nearly as good in lane swap situations, which is the main issue I have with it. I mean, they can play Volibear. It's like semi-nerf, but you could play Volibear. Granted, not exactly the best game for Volibear. You don't really want to pick Ivern in lane swap situations. Kind of just a weird game, no? Okay, I have a pick, but it's been nerfed, but it actually is still very playable, and it's actually you pick Brand. It's a terrible 2v2 in mid, but theirs is not really that crazy either. And it actually would be super annoying pick, but I don't think anyone's gonna pick it here. I don't think anyone even considers that pick a thing anymore. Like, Wukong is like, it's fine. Like, Wukong is fine, but it's also like not the most enjoyable into some of these champions still too.
They've got pushing bot lane. They've got a pretty solid pushing option in the mid lane. They've got, you know, Renekton who's going to be fine early game, and you've got a jungler who scales really well and offers more CC options. Now,
so my expectation is that they're thinking. I mean, okay, in theory, you should not be lane swapping if you're loud. At least based on the matchups, they might be doing it regardless because of who they are. I feel like we might I feel like it's not worth initiating either if I'm playing. No, they kind of have to, can't they? Don't they? Because like PK into Nautilus is not fun at all. It really is not. And if they swap in the top, yeah, they're gonna lose a little bit of plates into bot. But then their focus is next gonna be just going back into top to take the grubs. Pretty much that. Like nothing serious. So the most important thing in lane swap situations is making sure you get good wards to spot that they're swapping in the first place. That's like really all you really want to know. They're not doing it, so they're trusting their bot lane to win, even though it's not like the most enjoyable matchup in the beginning. That's cringe. Dude, come on, Nautilus. Holy shit. Okay, it definitely doesn't go that way, by the way. I need to watch that again.
Very difficult. So I do like
so
from Loud, and in theory, all the Root wants to do is farm up. He doesn't want to be taking hyper-aggressive trades or anything in these early stages. So it's nice. I think
I just need to see this bot lane shit a little bit more.
Mako and Jackie-Love going for a bit aggressive.
That's wild. This guy's actually just 1v2ing this shit. And generally, so the way you would do this is you wouldn't start the hook out that way. Even though like you might lose a little bit of brush control, like when you watch them walk in, you just back off, hit the E, especially because they have Guardian, so maybe you can proc Guardian a little bit early, then let it kind of break off a little bit, and you're gonna slowly, like, cause Sun's gonna hit the wave, and then the Nautilus can look for a hook and kind of balance things out a little bit, but in this case, because they went right away, it kind of just fizzled out. So both junglers are pathing to bot. I hate that Croc did his Krugs last, I guess, but in theory, it's going to give him an empowered clear. So I guess that's what he's looking for. He's looking for an empowered clear. And grubs spawn, I believe. I can't remember if this is the patch where grubs spawn a minute later or not. Yeah, it is. Pretty sure it is.
But they have double wards here.
I mean, he already got the crab. He's late to the crab. He used his W already, so like it's kind of a non-zero play, and Nautilus started moving. Then naturally he got minion blocked, which like blows. So now he has to fight.
Redbird has overstepped here a little bit. But Croc is on the way in.
And then TN kind of overstepped as well. Robo gets a ward top. He's actually doing pretty well, actually. He's actually doing very well.
It's over pretty quiet early game, I will say. Jack already 21 souls pretty early on. Domenico very much running the bottom side of the map. Might get a little bit more difficult. Rouse has items under his belt. He's going to loop and out of his trade. Right now, it's tough.
Nah, he's doing super well. He's really chilling. So he knows that Viego already moved into bot side, so he's... That's good. So, what is the Nautilus doing, by the way? So the Nautilus, they get the wave, right? And now he needs to match base. Wait, he has TP. I didn't even notice that. He has TP. No wonder why they can't fight for shit. No wonder why. Ideally, he would have had Ghost or something like that, you know, to actually, like, play it forward, which I will think it actually will be way more useful later on, but he actually went TP, so... Huh. Interesting. Cancels his base, that's pretty sick. Now he needs to go back bot, but he needs to make sure this guy doesn't... Like, the fact that this guy lost his flash really blows. Like, it's very expected that he's gonna be a play, so the fact that he loses it, it's like, ugh. Yeah, Grubs is 6 minutes, so then power clear wouldn't really do anything for Wukong in the first place. It's not bad, honestly, for what Loud is doing, it's really not that bad.
Good follow-up damage on the hail arrows, triple proc there. Redbird wants to keep this going. Good follow-up damage on the hail. 9, excellent hook from Redbird though. Jackie Love, and of course, early Ramble, not surprising to see from 3-6. 9, excellent hook from Redbird though. Jackie Love.
That is a great hook. This guy has the base, so they should always let the wave fall in, if they can. Then clear it, do the next wave, and then start prepping the dragon. These guys initiating into the river is actually really not the best. And the Wukong, should he really start with E? Honestly, I think he could just walk into this guy. I don't think he needs the E right away. I don't think that's really necessary. And for Tin owns, he needs to be hovering into bot a little bit better. He probably could be moving just a little bit quicker, but I mean, he's first here on the play. Personally, I feel like he should have went on Jackie Love. I think he should have like prayed that his team would be able to take care of TN and they convert this into a 2-for-1. And it's actually a good play for Loud to fight on. It's bad for TES. Like, this actually is bad for TES, so like props to Loud. Like, it was the right thing. It's just unfortunately Tinons didn't like fully win it out, and also Croc could have played it a little bit better. I wonder if he should delay his hook just a little bit too. You know what? He actually could bait this just a little bit more. If he backs off just a little bit, not even this far, maybe like to here, and then he hooks, this guy approaches, it's pretty good. I mean, also technically Route could literally force Jackie Love to dip, and they could kill Jackie Love. And if he takes over Nautilus, he's useless as shit. Like, he actually can't do a takeover, because he doesn't have 6. So, this is definitely a good fight for Loud. If they just play it just a little bit better, it's a pretty damn good fight for them. I don't know why they're trying to 3-man strong into the river like that. Sick. He got Cream's sums and his ulti.
do have Mako level 6, but he's on bot side. He's going to put him access to Wukong. And Wukong gets 2 action against Mako as well, so you need to be very, very careful in these scenarios. If you don't fight, I thought Rock is in here. Nice stuff. Immediately goes all out. So we're straight on for ulti. Very careful like this. Looks stack area. Ulti going in, see off the wave though. It's time to play over, but anything else, definitely not too bad. It goes in the back after 3 times, not too in the future. Having ultra ult, but nice little ult gets disengaged away from that. Didn't know he remembered on the top side was. Redbird now, I mean, level 4, quite far behind the roots, but not Redbird live check the hook. Again, like, you can see how well they're trying to move around the map. Redbird, we have pushed the ball, Redbird, show me his get green flash. We push him in now, because we're trying to break channels, meanwhile, with the ultimate available. And if any of these hooks in, you've got position, it's what's out the copies. I think pretty crucial that you find an opportunity soon, because Jacko's quietly just stacking himself, right? Him leaving lanes is not hurt nearly as much as sports, he's walking he's getting another resource that is arguably equally as important to be later in the game. The Proxy here, he has to spot it out, get on nose, and he needs to stick around. Dragon is the option, he might just try to force the 3v2 in bot lane. And they're not going to get the prize forcing fight yet. Jackie over, he's off his way, though, so they push it back. Oh, this is going to be a quick back, no, tanky talk, can't stick in, though, doesn't look like it's going to be a holding as long as he's going to put back for free, quick, no, take over, dash forward, we need to take over, opportunity soon, because Jackie is quiet.
Need to watch this again. So Wukong has 6, right? He does the blue, he does the Gromp. They have a ton of wards in bot side, like a ton of wards in the river. Like, there's no way they know these guys are here. Ideally, Wukong should, because like, especially because the wave bot, like, yeah, it's a little awkward.
Opportunity soon. Stacking up souls, right? Him leaving lane does not hurt nearly as much for other supports because while he might miss out on a little bit of XP,
No, that would have been really sick if he actually hit that.
Does not hurt nearly as much for other supports.
Especially because TK doesn't have R. Or it doesn't have, sorry, not R, it doesn't have Flash.
Because while he might miss out on a little bit of XP, he's getting another resource that is arguably equally as
Talia's already on the move, and then they started. Honestly, he actually could just keep walking at this guy. He should have actually just kept walking at this guy. Because Tin Owens is on his way, and you're gonna R the Nautilus, and you're gonna pray to God you can burst him. And Wukong can always flash for this play, if need be. The other way to go about this is that he does the blue, the Wukong does the blue, and then he goes into mid one time. But there's so much vision on like around mid side. Like if you look at the map, like the vision control, it's like way better for Loud. And they know like Viego's going into bot side at this point, so like once you have these wards placed, it's like he's either in bot lane or like somehow he wrapped all the way around mid onto the left side, which is very unlikely. So he also could be in lane, the Wukong. And if he was in lane, he actually could W. Ooh, man, that would have been sick, actually. So if he did blue and came around, and he used W, popped out here, and then used ER, and then this guy interrupts him, that's sick. That would be actually the play. If I'm counting that as plan A, that's like the play, like through lane. Plan B is what he's doing here now, which is like through the try. This one is like not as likely to get something, like get a good fat return play. And it also requires some skill for guys that like hit their shit. They don't hit their shit. I mean, Nautilus also could just keep walking onto him. And now he's just standing on the ward, and Tin Owens over-rotates, so now he's actually behind on the mid-wave. And now starting the dragon gives them some control, which is not good. And so Croc needs to like sweep this. Like he needs to sweep this area, and if he gets rid of this ward, now the dragon is like 100% free. And Tin Owens can't over-rotate. This ward is really like bad, like for Loud.
And Loud, I think they're not going to be able to get the prize of forcing a fight yet.
Jackie Love are gonna hit. He's gonna hit 6 off this wave though, so they can push a little back. They gotta go now.
This is gonna be big. Flip back on Mako could do a decent amount of damage, but it's one tanky Tom Kench. Thick skin though, doesn't look like it's gonna be enough. Mako holding as long as he can, but he finds.
I feel like once this fight starts and this guy is getting R'd,
This is gonna be big. Flip back on Mako could do.
I feel like he doesn't even need to use his Talia combo yet. That's my feeling. Like, he gets hooked here. Yeah, he's got to use Verisar. That's fine. I think he could just pump his Q more. And then the Wukong can pop his R. And then you have the E for a little bit later in the combo. Because right, even here, like, he didn't get the full damage from the E because the Wukong used R too early. And
Mako could do a decent amount of damage, but it's one tanky
top.
Thick skin though, doesn't look like it's gonna be enough. Mako.
And he, okay, this is also incorrect. Don't go for the Viego because he has R. Go onto Jackie Love, who has no flash, and then that will look a lot better too.
Could do a decent amount of damage, but it's one tanky Tom Kench. Thick skin though, doesn't.
And what does Route do?
Mako holding as long as he can, but he finally drops. Pushback is big.
I mean, Raul can't really get into the rest of this fight.
Do a decent amount of damage, but it's one tanky Tom Ken.
And Tin Owns, I wonder if Tin Owns is playing too scared here. He should just stand and fight. And if Viego goes on him, then he just flashes away and he's fine. Like, if he burns Viego R with using his flash, it's a lot more winning. So Tin Owns needs to, like, man up. He needs to man up. He needs to play this just a little bit better, but generally it was pretty good. And yet again, it's actually a pretty good fight situation for Loud if they execute it better. That's rough. That's really rough. So, this boss situation clears up. They're late to rotating top. They're on Grubs first. They decide that they want to fight it, especially because, you know, it's not like they're really the scaling comp. Azir has no flash. Gets hooked. Who's the Versar? Renekton also can't join this fight effectively, so he needs to already back off. He needs to back off sooner. Renekton needs, because, like, also keep in mind, this is a really good fight for Renekton to technically be in. But he already started hovering, so he's not on the wave first. The Cassante TP'd back. Okay. So this also might be the case where Renekton should have TP'd back to actually contest the wave. But either way, like, once they start moving this way, he needs to back off and TP to this ward. If he TPs here, this will look a lot better. They go on him. This is too... They know TK's not here. Oh, man. So the only thing that really sucks is the fact that a lot of this is dependent on where TK is. So I feel like once you know TK's over the wall and he has flash, you can't overcommit your abilities to Cream. I think the hook is fine. I think Tin Owns is going in a weird position. I think he's doing this... No, he doesn't even have wall. So he's doing the wrong thing. He needs to just run at this guy and do WE, right? Do his EW, right? This guy, you're expecting him. You need to expect him to actually answer this play and save him. That way, now you have R, and if this doesn't work, then you can turn on the guys who have no flash, which is this guy, and you're fine. And, like, if they just back off, then you get entrance to the Grubs, which is great. But I think you have to do it this way. And if he does, like, for instance, if this guy does eat him, then yeah, at least you have, like, these other abilities. One of these abilities should only be used, just one, and the other can be used on him. Because in this case, this guy's eating Nautilus R, Varus R, the Leah combo, and Wukong R. So this guy has full access into your backside, and it's like, okay. And so he did a ton of damage, and then, like, luckily enough, you're able to kill him, but you also don't have your Renekton. Oh man, dude, this is so interesting though, because there's, like, it's just like these micro things happening in the fight, but the fights are actually not bad. Like, the way TES postured there was terrible. Like, they didn't have Cassante. Cassante was still on the wave, and they didn't expect them to just walk into them. And that's interesting. A Varus TP. I love it. I actually love that they focused TN there too. Not the Cassante, they shifted into the TN. That was good. This is so interesting. Holy shit, this is so interesting, actually. So Cream, all this shit happened top, right? So Cream is hitting bot. You naturally can expect them to come and answer bot side, because it's too late for them to answer mid. Bot is the only play, right? He used his combo. Cream is playing kind of disrespectful, and they lost track of Nautilus. He surprises him. He gets caught, he flashes away. The Senna's here. And the Senna doesn't respect Flash, which she should, so she should never die. And now this guy's getting caught, and then this guy gets caught. Man. Yeah, TES is just playing disrespectfully. Like, they're like, it's too loose, you know? It's not like tight enough on both, like, what your opponents can do and like what you can do. Like, they really are not, like, it's like almost a little bit similar to T1, but the difference is Estral was like, they were just like, okay, you know? But Loud is like legitimately playing like their lane parts as well decent. So there's actually some concern. Wukong's starting to drop farm though, because he's trying to answer plays. This fight is a no-go. At this point, they should already be saying, okay, we're not getting Herald. We need to shift this into bot side. And it's either bot side or defending top. Oh, man. I can't believe they turned this around, though. No, they don't. Makes sense. So, that makes perfect sense, by the way. Like, this is one of those cases where Loud needs to realize, like, this is just not a fight you want to take. Like, it really is not. And Senna's stuck there, too. I gotta say, even though this is definitely a fight they should not take, and, like, if you notice, Cassante even's like, okay, you know, this should be ours. Like, because normally teams would not contest this, but Loud does. So it's a little bit different, so he has to actually TP in. And he's probably watching this whole time thinking like, okay, we should be fine, but the wall really fucks them. And then TK getting hit by this shit, like Senna's now stuck here too. And Senna's like, can you at least a zero R them? And he doesn't, like it takes him forever, so Cream doesn't even play it the best. He's trying to think, is there a way for them to turn this around? Like, what does Route do? Yeah, Route can't actually go any further because 369 is here now. Ooh, Croc flashes for it. Okay, so... Oh, fuck. I think he's gonna die without Croc. Maybe not, actually. But the thing is, if he commits, it can be really bad. So ideally, what Croc would do is not flash for it, pray that Route can actually finish him off, and use his R on top of the Cassante TPing in. And this way, he's interrupted. He can't press W fast enough. He'll be interrupted, and at least that way, you can start moving out. You kill him, you move out, and then the only person who dies is basically Robo. Like, he'll be the one who dies. It is what it is. It is what it is, though. That was a far better fight than I thought it was going to be. And the Talia wall was very good. Bert, please stop. look, so in this case, Renekton's already half HP. He lost his ulti. The Kasante's really starting to ram it in, like, into Renekton. Like, he's just not trading. He just doesn't have the gold. You know, this guy has 2 items. And that shit's rough. Like, Renekton just needs to kind of chill out a little bit more in this matchup now. He's not really gonna do too much, and so yeah, that's not going the best. Not really doing anything, and this look is like okay, especially so he's wave skipping top, and ooh. So the only thing can they lock this guy up more? Wukong doesn't have Cyclone. You know, in theory, this guy actually could just run past him and R him. And if Talia goes all the way, I mean, like, literally all the way, I mean, he's gonna flash R him, though. But the thing is, the tendrils are, like, in this, so it actually would spread to him. I don't know. I'm trying to think if this was the best way to do this or not. It's not a bad idea. I mean, the thing that I like about it is that you're getting the TK flash out. I definitely like that. Can Wukong be closer? Technically, yes. Actually, Wukong could be hovering behind mid if they really wanted to fish for something like this, and maybe he could be more ready. But he also, again, he doesn't have Cyclone, so it's not like he would have like benefited the team that much from this situation. But the downside of this play now is you have to play recovery on top side. So Azir fully shoves this in. Now you're on defense on mid. So then they slam this in. You overextend this situation, and Bert ends up baiting the rest of his team. And this is obviously game losing now at this point. Like, they were kind of like fighting hand in hand for the most part. But at this point, it doesn't matter because when you all in on the mid, he pushes out top. He has control of bot. Now these sides can like collapse inward. The Herald slams. If you try to initiate on their strength play and you lose hard. So the fact that they did that, yeah, it was pretty game losing. And of course, you know, okay, let's say this. Bert dying is not game losing, but his teammates also like getting baited into that situation. Yeah, that's not good. So now there's only 1 dragon left for Soul, and like they just, what are they gonna do? I don't even know. It's a good draft. Like, if I was them, I definitely would be happy to run this draft again. He almost died. I mean, let's just see how the waves play out. Because right now, Azir is taking top, which I think that's a misplay. I think Azir should go mid, and these guys should just play a simple 2-1. And even though, yeah, he can go top, the thing is, this is going to delay their pushes by like 2 waves. And then this gives the Loud time to defend. Like, actually set up their defense, right? This is the big thing. So I'm pretty happy. Now, keep in mind, in 2 waves, this will be actually harder to deal with just because now there's multiple waves. But, because, like, if you notice here, they shift into here, they're able to peel this out, and he's pushing this out, so then once he gets to here and then they shift over, then in theory they should be able to strip all the tier 2s, but it does mean, like I said, it delays your Baron by a little bit. They probably already would have taken both tier 2s here at this point, if Azir was present, but he's not. So now they're very obviously like set up here, and ooh, dude, I love it. What? I actually love it. Because Azir, they have a pink, so he spots him, and they have a pink here, so they know Azir can't join right away.
Now that unlocks Cream.
Talia is starting to move over, and they clearly are thinking about going for this play. I feel like if Talia moved this way... Oh, dude, you know what? This is actually so winning for them. That's so funny. So if he sees this, and if he just walls this way so these guys can't join, like, they would have... Like, he can't join. Like, it's just... Kasante's not in this fight. And Senna would have to flash over, but she never will. It's actually winning. It's actually winning! How funny is that? Now, of course, Viego should probably just use R cancel on the not R, assuming he can. He does.
This is the bread and butter the top esports brought from the LP.
Playing through mid with the flash over the hook, the aggressive play.
Now Wukong is focused on this guy. Yeah, and then 369 never would have zoned them. And this actually would have looked so good. And then, of course, Wukong just needs to have some balls and just go... Dude, oh, he doesn't expect the Q damage. But the second I see this, if I'm Wukong, I would have flashed back, canceled my R, and auto TN, and he would have died. And then I would press my damage into Jackie Love, so Croc could have played this better. And it's not Rout's fault, like it just is what it is, that like 369 is just on your ass because Talia didn't properly like do anything about this. And Redbird has to stop this guy. And Robo has to stop this guy. But it looks like Robo literally fought Azir, and Azir has no mana. Azir has no mana! Oh my god! This actually was such a winning fight for them. That's crazy! This actually was a winning fight for them. Wow. TES is literally getting away with fucking murder. Like, they are literally getting outplayed for being morons. And if, like I said, if Loud was just a little bit better at some of these situations, they actually would be winning.
Honestly, watching that playback, that was all 369 and Cream. Just tag.
So, is Croc doing the right thing here? No. I don't think so.
With the 2 damage dealers that they have.
And honestly, watching that play.
This is just, like, this is another case where... Well, this one's gonna suck a little bit more, because they, in theory, could kill TK if they Talia wall properly. But they're gonna lose mid-inhib anyways, and they won't kill anyone else probably afterwards. So it's kind of like it's not a bad gambit, especially for being down this much gold. But the net outcome won't really change much. I don't think they're gonna go Senna TK for a second round. I don't think they want to play the Nautilus TK matchup again. Even if this guy's inting a bit, like, this is a little bit too close for comfort. Trying to think though, who actually would be the MVP of this game?
Loud need to be careful about here. Tin owns the target that they have to protect. Jackie Love gonna hit the root, but only under Redbird. Redbird flash forward. He's gonna hit 369, but crucially he's gonna hit Jackie Love as well. 369 devoured by Mako. Route is here, ready to follow up. Ulti connecting onto 369.
I mean, this is just so weird. This is just so weird. Like, Not dies, but Azir is dead, right? Kasante should have just taken his base already, especially with Hex Gates. He should have just taken his base to his actual HP. Then they're kind of just like, oh hey, what's up? And Bert like just always forces the play, and he didn't have his W up, question mark? Somehow he didn't have his W up, so he didn't cancel it correctly, he dies, and they actually get the dragon! Oh my god, they actually get the dragon!
Out of their base.
Loud TPing in.
This is just ballsy as shit, his team's not even following him! Cream's like, team is not even following him, Also, I probably would have. Can they turn around and just flip this? I feel like they could. Because this guy has to flash away now because he just used WE.
As the spell shield creams in.
He doesn't have Verisar though.
As the spell shield creams, stepping very far forward.
Ooh. I don't know. Part of me thought that maybe Wukong could actually force back onto that, and Cream would lose a whole bunch of HP. But he does have TP, so if you don't kill him and you lose Wukong R, it's a lot worse. Oh, man. He actually is out, which is so funny. Like, Robo is in no man's land, right? Like, he's trying to cheat a wave, but, like, it's a very bad wave to do in the first place because clearly they have bid control. And then 369 knocks him further, like, closer to the wall for whatever reason. I don't know why he's doing that. So it actually lets him be able to flash away, so that's on 369. And then once he gets out, so here's the thing. One, Talia wall should come up. I don't know why he hasn't Talia walled yet, but he should do it, like, now. He might even be able to cut off 369, which is hilarious. And he might actually start be able to DPS him. But regardless, he needs to do something, right? Because that, God, why did you hook? Like, he hooks, kills himself, this kills Wukong. And then somehow Wukong killed Renekton. And now the game is done.
That's the final super minion wave that's coming in. So top esports gonna go to meet it, to escort it in to make sure they'll get it.
Redbird a little bit wide.
Coming in, so top esports gonna go to.
So at this point, Cream like sees the wall coming, and then for whatever reason he walks inside versus outside, and now he gets canceled. That's too late. Holy shit, that's the first game of this series? Holy shit, who's the MVP, man? Oh my god, I mean, I don't even know. It's not Croc. I know that. Can't be Burt just because of like the mistakes he made. Rot was pretty good. Robo was pretty good, but like he... it's not Tien. I feel like it has to be like Jackie Love or Maiko. I feel like it has to be one of the bot laners. Even though like this guy was making plays and they were catching him, and they were also like kind of doing the same with Senna. I feel like one of these two is just clearly performing well. Like Cream made some egregious mistakes in this like series. Like some stuff that is like pretty bad, and like the plays they're making are just good plays onto TK. It's just kind of like how it is. But he had a lot of good eats. And Jackie Love definitely stepped up. Oh, man. It has to be one of these two. But if I was to choose someone from them, his walls were good. Like, actually pretty good walls. I think he could have played the fights better. At times, but he also was a pretty big component at catching people. Maybe Burt's like all the way down here at like the 4th or 5th position for MVP or something. It might be Tin Owns. It's probably like Tin Owns or Route. Like one of these two behind these guys, I feel like. But this was quite an impressive showing by Loud, honestly. Not a great situation by TES, but a pretty good like showing by Loud for game 1.